What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another episode of our Extreme Makeover MyTEAM edition. In this episode, I will be breaking down some of the squads here and going over what adjustments I would make for their specific squad. To be eligible for this, all you have to do is reply to the tweet that I put out usually every Sunday. Reply to that tweet for a chance to have your squad basically remodeled. I go over your squad, how much MT you have. If you are to the channel and have not yet, please smash that subscribe button as we're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. The first squad here was sent in by Leech on Twitter. Says he has 170k to work with, but he is on next gen with a twist because he plays tournaments on current gen. So overall, I'm just gonna be making the best squad possible here. And so the first thing I see that I don't like is Antoine Walker with this squad. And for this squad specifically, I'm gonna move Draymond there, KD there, and I'm going to add one of my personal favorite players in the game in Glenn Robinson. I think he's like a mini Zion, both current and next gen. He's a very, very solid player. And since this is current and next gen, I don't like putting Stockton there that much. I don't like any point guards enough to really fill that void. So JoJo White can hold it down there. And really what I would recommend now is just holding on to your MT for a little while. If you wanted to, you could go crazy. I just like your team. I like the all-around balance. I like Cam Reddish, Glenn, JB, Andre Iggy. Now, the backup point guard in JoJo, I don't love him. But at the same time, if he's badged out, you got the badges he needs. He can definitely hold it down with that speed and lateral quickness. So next gen, current gen, this is the squad I would roll with. This next squad here was sent in by my guy Corrupt on Twitter. Says he has 400k to work with, and he's about to get Dwayne Wade here in a couple weeks. But the downfall to this squad that I see is the backup guard position in Ray Froston and Jeff Malone. They're both fine, but at the same time, I think there are some big upgrades that you can make there. But if you look at the starting lineup, specifically Steph, JB, Cam Reddish, Wayne Embry, and Blake Griffin, those guys badged out is basically my ideal starting lineup. Maybe I'd put Grant Hill in there instead of JB. But other than that, your bench, I like Rudy, I like Maurice Lucas, and I like Sean Kemp. I like all of those guys, especially for Sean Kemp's price. I think it's tough to beat that. So what I would really focus on is trying to upgrade that shooting guard and point guard position. Now, if I'm you and trying to build the best squad possible, I'd maybe include a guy like Eddie Jones here at the 2. Then point guard Rayford can hold it down. But if you're current gen, I still think this John Stockton, especially now, you can find one badged out for basically 100k. So those two additions for 200k could really maximize your squad. This next squad here was sent in by Mateo on Twitter, and he has a decent enough squad to work with. He has Sean Kemp. It's a great budget option. He says he has 100k to work with, and I like the Sean Kemp option. I like Tubby Walker. He's on current gen, so that means Hedo Turkoglu is not very good. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is remove Hedo Turkoglu from the lineup. But other than that, current gen, all of the rest of the guys here can play. Now, I'm going to throw something at you that I personally might do if I'm you in this position. The first thing I'm going to do is play Wayne Embry and Sean Kemp together. I like that kind of duo. And I know he said he runs Embry as his primary ball handler. So if you want to run Embry, you know, here, I get Embry or Sean Kemp. One of them has to move to power forward though. So that's what I'm going to do there. Then at your bench, I'm going to add one of the new guys on the block in Bobo. Whoa, is Bobo? Hold up. Where's he at? Where's he at? Is he not added to it? All right, he's not added to 2K MT Central for whatever reason. I don't know why he's not added yet. But definitely, I would add Bobo to the lineup. I don't know why you can't add him, but pretend this is Bobo, not Manubo. The new Bobo you can get for around 15k, 7'2", got an 82 3-ball, upper 60 speed, and I think he is absolutely incredible. So I would add him to the squad. So pretend this is Bobo, add him to the squad, and then you can build the rest from there. But I would start with those couple of additions and then move on from there. This next squad here was sent in by Quentin on Twitter. Says he has 50k to work with, and he's running a 13-man, which I don't personally like. So first thing I'm going to do is get rid of Bargnani. And since you're on current gen, I'm also going to tell you to sell Hedo Turkoglu. Once you do that, you'll just have a little bit more MT to work with. And now what I'm going to tell you to do, first of all, your starting lineup's fine. Ray for Jeff Malone, Cam Reddish, Juwan Howard, and Wayne Embry. I'm fine with that starting lineup right there. I'm not going to even tell you to touch it, adjust it. It is fine, okay? Juwan's very good for his budget. Wayne Embry obviously does his thing. So you got 50k to work with, and I'm not going to tell you, sit here and tell you to spend all of that MT. Obviously, if you did, you could make a very, very good squad. Now, here's what I'm going to say. I want you to try this guy right here because I think he's just as good as Donovan Mitchell. And I think, honestly, because of his release, and I personally love his release, maybe I'm biased, that and maybe it's recency bias that he's better than Donovan Mitchell. But I just think his base card compared to Donovan Mitchell's base card, give me De'Aaron Fox. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Now, a badged out Donovan Mitchell compared to a badged out De'Aaron Fox is a little bit of a different story. But because he's new, and because I think you can have a lot of fun with him, especially on current gen with his speed, I think he can become absolutely ridiculous. So pick him up, sell the rest of your squad, and really run a 10-man, and you could have a lot of success with this squad for now. Now, you might get to a point where you want to upgrade some positions, but for now, you're rocking a very, very good budget squad. This next squad here was sent in by Machine on Twitter. Says he has a mil MT to work with and that he's looking for a new power forward. So there's a couple different ways you can go with this if you're looking for a new power forward. So I'm guessing one of these two guys has to go, Draymond or Josh Smith. Now, I don't know which one you like more, but I'm going to make an adjustment, okay? I'm going to do something. You might not like it, and you might have to make some adjustments depending on how much you like Patrick Ewing in here. But first thing I'm going to do is slide Draymond to center. I know it's small ball, but then I'm going to do this. I'm going to pick up LeBron James, okay? With that being done right there, I'm going to slide Zion there and bench Josh Smith. If Josh Smith's power forward you don't like, then you can get rid of him, move Zion there. And then I'm going to plug in a guy I've talked about earlier in Glenn Robinson. I think he is one of the most underrated cards in the game. And if you want to get Glenn Robinson for 100K, do it. If you want to go crazy, I suggest picking up Grant Hill. If you really want to, do your thing and pick up the best team possible, get Pink Diamond Grant Hill. But those are my biggest two suggestions for you and your squad. And honestly, if you have a million MT and you want to max it out, go ahead and do your thing as well. Just get rid of all your MT. I'm kidding. If you want to save your MT, go ahead and save it. But I'm just saying, if you have a million MT, this is probably the squad I would turn to if I was you. This next squad here was sent in by Justin on Twitter. Says he has a million MT to work with. He's trying to go for Dwayne Wade, and he is on next gen. So that's very, very important, especially for a guy like Ray for Austin, who in my opinion is a lot better on next gen than current gen. So the big thing I see in this squad is the weakness in the point guard position. Other than that, I like your fours. I like kind of the small ball lineup. KD, Glenn. I love Serge right there. That's great. If you want to try something different, you can maybe try Bobo, but Serge is incredible as well. I just wanted to throw Bobo in the squad earlier because I absolutely love him, but Serge is another great option. Then at the point guard position, you can go a couple different ways. If you want to find a badged out Donovan Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, you can try to do your thing. But if I'm you, I'm trying to find a badged out John Stockton. Next gen obviously is not going to be quite as good, so if you want to go Monte Ellis, somebody like that, you can. But I still think even on next gen, obviously his load up's a little bit longer, his dribble sticks aren't great. I love John Stockton still. He's still my point guard. Current gen, next gen, it doesn't matter. He's my backup point guard. And then if you could find a badged out John Stockton for 100K, that is where I would try to turn. Now I know you mentioned the fact that you got the idol set. Hopefully for your sake, they drop a good idols player. This next squad here is sent in by Mike on Twitter. Says he has 100K MT to work with, and so we're gonna just fine tune it just a little bit because I do like this squad. I like a lot of what he's working with. I just think it could be improved just a little bit. So the first thing I see is Carl's okay, but at this point I think there's better options, especially for what you need. So the first thing I'm gonna do, and Larry Kenon, he's okay, but again, I just think there's better options out there. So the first thing I'm gonna do is add Rudy to the squad. I like Brandon Ingram here. He's a great option, but I think Rudy is that great option as well. I mean, it's tough to find certain players for the price that you're looking for. And so that's kind of where I lean to go. Honestly, if you want to play this kind of a lineup and want to run Anthony Davis there and Gobert there, if you don't want to change anything in your starting lineup, the only adjustment I would really make is adding Sean Kemp instead of Carl and adding Rudy Gay instead of Larry Kenon. If you want to keep the starting lineup the same and you've had success running this tall ball lineup, then do that. Otherwise, I do like Kemp a lot, and so that's why I kind of wanted to get him in the lineup. Otherwise, you can maybe pick up a guy like Glenn I've mentioned, Eddie Jones, another good option, or you could try to find some great budget options in there as well. But I would lean towards this squad to not change too much as far as your starting lineup is concerned. The last squad we're going to be going over today is from Dlee on Twitter. Says he has 200K to work with, but he's just confused about his starting, or he's undecided about his starting and bench lineup. So I'm going to kind of give my input here a little bit, and you can just kind of take what I say. Definitely take it with a grain of salt, because my opinion, and this is next gen too, you've got a lot of great players. That's the first thing I'm going to say. You've got Bron, who next gen obviously is going to stay. Blake, let's move Blake there. That's the first thing I'm going to do, is move Blake into that starting lineup. And I'm going to get rid of Dwight. Now, I don't hate Dwight, but I am going to get rid of Dwight just because I like stretch bigs. And so the next thing I'm going to do is move Giannis there, Cam Reddish there. And so that creates an option, okay? You got Michael Jordan, Dr. J, or Grant Hill. If I'm you, I'm plugging Grant Hill in right there, and you can get rid of Michael Jordan if you want, or if you want to keep him, that's fine too. I've heard great things about MJ on next gen, but really you take your pick between your shooting guard positions. But I think if you run kind of this lineup in which everyone can shoot, you can have more success. Now, if you want everybody that can shoot, you can also do something like this. If you want to get Giannis out of the lineup, you can move KD there, Grant there, Michael Jordan there, something like that. You just have such a great lineup. There's a lot of great things you can do with it, but this is the lineup that I would probably lean with. Just look at the first 10. So Steph, JR, KD, Brown, Blake, and then D Rose, Grant, Cam Reddish, Giannis, and Anthony Davis. Alright, that is going to wrap it up for this episode of our My Team Makeover. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys saw a squad like yours, hopefully you can take some of my advice on some of my favorite players and implement that into your squad. If not, comment your squad down below. I'm sure if I can't get it, somebody else that's listening would be glad to help you guys. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.